What do you want for dinner? A simple question. But for you, it's not, is it? Does your mind go blank? Do you find yourself instantly saying, oh, whatever you want, I don't mind? Not because you're being easy, but because you genuinely don't know, or because the act of having a preference feels dangerous, feels like an inconvenience. Do you feel like you are just a reflection of the people around you? With your friends, you like their music. With your partner, you like their hobbies. But when you are alone, when there's no one to reflect, do you feel a quiet, terrifying void? Do you apologize constantly? Sorry for walking into a room, sorry for sending a text, sorry for taking up space, sorry for existing. If this is you, if you have ever felt like a ghost in your own life, this is not an accident. This is not a personality flaw. Because the child who was not seen becomes the adult who cannot see themselves. How does a child become invisible? It's not always the way you think.
It is not always the house of shouting and of anger. Often, it is the house of silence. It's an empty house, the quiet house. The house where the parents were there, but not present. They were lost in their own pain, their own work, their own stress, their own addictions. They provided a roof, they provided food, but they did not provide attunement. They did not see you. No one came into your room at night to ask about your day. No one asked, how do you feel about that? No one celebrated your small, strange, beautiful victories. No one sat with you in your small, strange, beautiful sadness. And so you learned a devastating lesson, a lesson that a child should never have to learn. You learned that your inner world does not matter. Your feelings are an inconvenience. Your needs are a problem. Your joy is a distraction. Your pain is a burden. You learned to be the child who just disappeared. You learned to be quiet. You learned to not cause trouble. You learned to handle it yourself. You became invisible as a strategy for survival. Because the only thing worse than being ignored is to finally show your pain and still be ignored. That is the rejection that a child cannot survive. So you buried it. You buried you. And in your place grew a performance. A self that was polite and capable and quiet and empty. And the world praised you for it. You're so mature for your age. You're so independent. And every time they praised you, the real you got buried a little bit deeper. And then you grew up. But the child you buried is still there. Still invisible. And that ache shows up in your adult life in so many ways. The first, most painful consequence is the apology for existing. You feel like a burden. The simple human act of having a need feels like a personal and moral failure. You need a ride from the airport. You need someone to watch your cat. You need a hug. And the shame that floods your system is paralyzing. Your heart beats faster. Your palms sweat. You type out the text, "Hey, are you busy?" and you delete it. You type it again.
No, it's stupid. Never mind. You delete it again, because the voice of the invisible child is screaming. Don't ask. You are an inconvenience. They will be angry. they will leave. And so you don't ask. You pay for the expensive taxi. You find another way. You sit with the sadness, alone. Because the pain of being alone is less than the risk of being a burden. You apologize when someone bumps into you. You apologize for being 5 minutes early. You apologize for having an opinion. You are, in effect, constantly apologizing for the space you take up on the planet. This leads to the second disorienting symptom, living as a chameleon. Because you never developed a self, you borrow one. You are a mirror. You are a master of attuning to other people. You become who they need you to be. With your type A boss, you are efficient and concise. With your free spirit friend, you are adventurous and easygoing. With your anxious partner, you are calm and solid. You are a shapeshifter. It is your superpower. It is what has kept you safe. But the cost is that you have no shape of your own. This is why what do you want for dinner is a terrifying question. It's why what kind of music do you like makes you panic.
You have become so good at reflecting, you have forgotten what it feels like to shine. And this is the core of the ache, the internal void. This is the scariest part of all. It is the day you finally stop to look inside and you find nothing. Your whole life you have reacted, you have adapted, you have survived, but you have never truly lived. You've never chosen. You look back at your own life and it feels like a movie you watched, not a life you led. You're in a job you just fell into. You're in a relationship with someone who chose you. You live in a city you ended up in, and you are haunted by a quiet, constant numbness, a disconnect. You watch yourself laughing at a party and you feel nothing. You are a ghost in your own life. This is the loneliness of the invisible child. Not just the loneliness of being without others, but the profound, terrifying loneliness of being without yourself.
If you are this person, if you are living in this ache, I want you to stop and I want you to hear this. You are not invisible. You are not a burden. You are not empty. You are a survivor of an invisible but profound wound. Your chameleon nature is not a flaw. It is a sign of your brilliant adaptability. Your emptiness is not a sign that you are broken. It is a sign that you are ready to be filled. Healing from this is not about fixing yourself. It is about seeing. It is about the slow, quiet, radical act of self-witnessing. It is about becoming the parent you never had. It is about turning toward that invisible child inside you, the one you have also been ignoring. And it starts with a question.
The question no one ever asked. You must learn to ask yourself every single day. When you wake up, when you are in pain, when you feel that old, familiar nothingness, you must stop. Put your hand on your own heart, and you must ask, what do you need right now? And at first, the answer will be silence, because the child is scared. They don't trust you. You have ignored them for a long time. So you ask again, what do you need? Are you sad? Are you tired? Are you scared? And you listen. You listen to the whisper of your own truth. And then you must do the next hardest thing. You must practice choosing. Start small, so small it feels stupid. What do I want for dinner? I want soup. And you make the soup. You do not ask anyone else. You just do it. This is not lunch. This is an act of rebellion. This is an act of self-definition. This is you proving to that invisible child, I hear you, and you matter. This is the beginning. This is how you make yourself visible to yourself. This is how you learn to trust yourself. It is a long, slow, and gentle process. It is the work of a lifetime. It is the work of finally coming home. You are not a ghost. You are solid. Your feelings are not an inconvenience. They are your truth. Your needs are not a burden. They are your guide. You are here, and you deserve to be seen. Thank you for being here. Subscribe for more.